been getting quite a few messages and comments recently about how to use the Angelina Fusion films, and the response I've been giving is there's a variety. There's a candle, don't recommend it because it can burn, but I love the effects, naughty me. A heat gun, a laminator. And what I thought I'd show you is my preferred way of doing it, which is a heat gun and a laminator. So this is Angelina Fusion film. Behind a white background, there's, you know, it's just a kind of solid colour. You put it behind a black background and it gives off all these beautiful effects. So here's two different colours that I've got going on here. And the way I like to do this is I like to layer up a couple of different colours. Now you can just simply tear this, it just tears, or you can cut it with scissors. It's up to you what you do. I'm going to tear these bits up into kind of that size-ish. It doesn't matter if it's not quite right. So I'm just going to layer a bit like that, like that. I might put another bit there, and then that bit can go there, and that bit can go there. So I've got this lovely mix there, and just that on its own is absolutely gorgeous. All those different colours in there. So you could, in theory, just fuse this together under the laminator, or between a sheet of paper and a heat gun, and it would be like that. And when you move it, you'd get all these different effects. Or you can scrumple it all up like that, and have all of these lovely little creases, like so. And then I might scrumple that up a little bit more. It changes the effect completely once you scrunch it. So now you hardly even need to move it to get all of these different effects. And again, at that point, you can fuse it together, and that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to hold on to my Fusion film using my pliers because I don't want my hands to burn, and I'm going to use my heat gun. So at this point, I don't want to heat it and fuse it to the point where it's completely fused and it's not going to fuse anymore, because I'm going to run it through the laminator afterwards. But if I zoom in, what you'll see is the cells that adding heat to this bring. Okay, we ready? Have I zoomed in enough? I just zoomed in so far you can't see. Let's have a look. How about like that? Okay. Now, after a while, that's going to be stuck together enough for me to now put it through. Do you know what? I don't know if I've done it enough. Let me just do the other side. Hang on. That feels a little bit better. Can you see all the beautiful cells that it's created? I'm not even moving it, and look at how beautiful that is. Imagine that in something like a dragon wing or a piece of jewellery, and then behind a black background, watch it pop even more. Gorgeous stuff, this. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through the laminator. I'm going to use normal printing paper so that I'm not going to use a laminating pouch, because I don't want it to be laminated onto a laminating pouch. I want it to still be this free and easy piece. I'm going to put it through my laminator. So here's my laminator, and here's the pouch that we created earlier. And the laminator I use is a Toy You Go, and it's got a hot and cold setting. So you can actually press things without using heat. So I haven't used it yet, but I was thinking of trying it with flowers, which will be another video another day. So we're just going to run that through there. There's the entrance. You have to wait until that green button comes on to say it's ready. And this one up here, I think, is to do with the, I don't know, thickness maybe? I'm not sure. I did a lot of research, as you can tell. Not. See it coming out the end. And it's not too hot to touch. Perfectly a good temperature to touch as soon as it comes out. Just turn that off. If I don't turn it off right now, I know I will forget. And then there is our piece of completely flat, laminated but scrunched Angelina film. So if I put it behind a black background, look at that, isn't that beautiful? I say that so much about this stuff, isn't that beautiful? That's all I ever say. But it's got such dynamic colours, especially when you layer it. I do feel that this works really well with a black background. On a white background, it always seems to go a sort of ready tint. It doesn't really matter which of the colours you put in there. But like a metal background has got a different effect, like a grey steely background. And then, yeah, there it is with a black background. So that's how I get cells into my Angelina Fusion film. Scrumple it up, heat gun it, and then laminate it. If you don't have a laminator, you can put your Angelina Fusion fibres between your paper, put a little bit of parchment paper over the top or a thin towel, and then iron it on the lowest setting. And it has a similar effect if you iron it. Don't iron this bare because it'll just start to melt and get holes. It shouldn't stick to your iron because it doesn't stick to anything other than itself, but you could damage your iron and you could damage your sheet.